Welcome to another episode of Healthy Cooking with me, Chef Keith. This is a show where I will show you how to make healthy gourmet style meals in the comfort of your very own kitchen. But before I go any further, let's thank our sponsors who've made this show possible. And they are Paper to Film Productions, Revolutionary Meals, Scott's Cares Foundation, Urban Grandstand Digital, Meet My Types Matchmaking, Blend to Blend Juice Bar Boutique, Ren Novations, and New Covenant of Praise Worship Center. Now, sit back, relax, and let's do a little healthy cooking with me, Chef Keith. Again, Source Nation, thanks for joining me. I have a nice, fun, veggie-filled dish for you today. And I just want to say a happy belated birthday to Andrea Jeffcoat, who is our unsung hero around here at Source Radio Network. She is looking as beautiful as the day she was born, right? But I just want to make sure that I give her some props because she works so hard, trust me, so hard to make sure that all of us on the Source Radio Network are taken care of. And she is one of our unsung heroes. So I just want to say happy birthday to you. And she likes to eat her veggies, so I decided I'm going to make a veggie dish. Because she knows Chef Keith is always putting some animals on here. But today I will not. I will not. And so I'm going to show you that I am also very versatile. Alright, so what I got here is some nice fresh corn. This is grown locally, and it's always nice to buy local, people. You don't want to import your vegetables from other places if you don't have to. And trust me, sometimes it's best to know where you are getting this stuff. So, hey, you get it from overseas sometimes, and it's not always the best stuff, but this is locally grown corn. Alright, so all I'm going to do is shuck the corn here. Shucking the corn goes back to my days as a young lad. And my aunt used to keep her garden. I know I talk about my aunt from time to time, and she used to keep her garden, and we ate a lot of fresh vegetables. So for all of us, we probably need to go back to that. Everybody knows here at the Source family that I advocate a lot of times for whether or not we, eat fresh vegetables and fruits when we can. You know, me personally, that's always the best you can do. So whenever I get any ideas about growing your own fruits, vegetables, herbs, anything like that, I make sure that I send it to you or I put it out there to you so that all my family can benefit from it, because I really think that the time is coming where we have to start growing our own fruits and vegetables. I mean, it never left, but I mean, we've gotten too reliant on supermarkets and things like that. So what I got here is I have 4 ears of corn. This is going to be plenty of corn. This is going to be a tasty, easy to make dish. The effort goes all into the love that you put into the dish. When you're doing your dishes, I always tell everybody, take your time, like the song say, take your time, do it right. That's what you gotta do. You gotta take your time and do it right. And that involves getting some fresh veggies when you can. Alright, so I've shucked all 4 corn cobs. Alright, and so now I'm moving on to the next step. Okay, so here we go now, and all I'm going to do is run my knife real easy right down into the bowl here. Just going to move a little closer so you can hear the corn. You see that? I'm just gonna, and for those of you who are listening on the Source Radio Network, you can also catch a live video of me cutting corn. Cutting corn on this Healthy Cooking with Chef Keith on the Source Radio Network page, or even on Keith in the Streets. Wherever good food is happening, I try to be there, you know. So I hope everybody had a great and fantastic, safe Labor Day. You know, it's supposed to be where you're not doing too much work. So hopefully for those who do all the cooking at home, you didn't have to cook, because cooking can be a job too, you know. Especially when you're cooking for a household the size of mine. So all I'm doing here is continuing to take all the corn. You see all the corn, I'm just cutting it right down the side. See, it comes off nice and easy. And if you go too far into the cob, it gets a little bit hard. It shows you a lot of resistance. So that gives you an idea how far you're cutting in there. And I know a lot of people really get used to eating frozen corn, but let me tell you, I know we do it for convenience, but if you just buy corn as it's needed, has a nice shelf life, whenever you can eat fresh corn, you should. You know, you don't have to get the frozen kind and just store it. It's actually very inexpensive. I got 4 ears of corn today for $1.20. So it's cost effective as well. So there we go. There's our corn. And I'm just gonna break all the pieces up. Get everything nice and loose there. See? Nice servings of corn. Nice, beautiful, fresh corn. Alright, so what do you know? We've got fresh veggies, and this is the trifecta right here. We've got red peppers, bell peppers, we've got orange, and we've got green. This is going to give that corn a fantastic color. I mean, it's going to look beautiful and tasty to eat. Alright, so all I'm going to do here is take out my center. Alright. I don't need the seeds today, so I'm just going to move those out of the way. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is chop my green pepper just like that. My bell pepper. Love bell peppers. I bet you family are tired of hearing me talk about bell peppers so much, but trust me, you know somebody is really attempting to cook when you can come into the house and smell bell peppers. Because they're looking for flavor. Real serious flavor. So what I got here is my bell pepper. I'm just going to go ahead and run my knife. Alright, right down the side there. And just going to go across the opposite way. Just going to make some chunks here. You can use a jalapeno in place of your bell pepper if you want to turn it up a notch. But I'm not turning it up all the way. I mean, I can. I almost pepper sprayed myself here because pepper juice is flying all over the place. I guess my family, Source Radio Network, my Source family would know that something was wrong, because I'd be screaming into the radio right now. But I'm not. And for those of you who are just tuned in, you're listening to Healthy Cooking with Chef Keith on the Source Radio Network. And I am making Fiesta corn and fried green tomatoes. I didn't mention that earlier because I wanted to surprise everybody. But some of you might just be tuning in. So I got to get you up to speed, because you didn't see the corn. Alright. There we go with that. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing. Love all these peppers, are amazing. We're going to have to do a stuffed pepper recipe at some point, because I know it's what a lot of you are longing for. Stuffed peppers. and I love them. Same thing here. Nothing fancy about that chop right there. I think yellow peppers are my favorite. I mean, I like to eat the yellow peppers just like they are. I don't even like to cook them. I do not even like to cook them. But this corn is going to look like it's party corn. This is a great dish when you're bringing to a potluck. People are looking for sides. And somebody says, bring a side. I don't know what's going to be. Trust me, bring this. Make this, and you'll be the envy of all your friends. Trust me, even if they aren't vegan, they're going to think this is amazing. Color is everything when you're cooking. You want to try to put the best contrast of colors together when you're cooking. So a lot of times you might not notice why I've chosen a certain particular ingredient for a dish, but a lot of times I choose it based on the color and its contrast to make it as vibrant as possible when everyone sits down at the table, so they can get real excited and say, ooh, look at all the colors. I don't know if you've never noticed that, but it's always nice to have colors. Like, so if you have it one bland color sometimes, it doesn't look as appetizing. So if you have like your meat or something like that, you want to contrast it with something bright. You know, you don't want to just a plate of all white things like some white fish and mashed potatoes and rice. That is not the business. You gotta switch it up a bit. Add some spinach in there. Add some red pepper flake. Add some red onions. Ooh, there we go. Nice. Add some plantains. All the tasty things. Strawberries, grapes, bananas, oranges, lemons, limes. You got to be able to switch it up. Make it look as bright as possible. And now you'll see. Look at that right there. How beautiful is that? Okay, so what I have here is some olive oil. What I'm going to do is add a little pepper here. It's a teaspoon of salt, another teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and a teaspoon of cumin. Just adding that to my olive oil here. See that? All it is to it. And so from there I'm going to take my green tomatoes. You can feel the green tomatoes, the firmness. That's why they're best to fry, because they're pretty sturdy. So I'm just going to make nice big chunks here. Not ordinarily like we cut our red tomatoes. We're going to cut here. And my actual green tomatoes are from Canada today. So we went ahead and shouted out America's neighbors, North America's neighbors, the Canadians. Alright, so what I'm going to do is take this second tomato, cut here, nice solid pieces, like so. Look at that, easy. Cut one more off of here. Alright, and this should be good for us. Now the process is very, very simple. I'm just going to get a paper plate for this. This is for a temporary thing. So all I'm going to do, alright, is take this fork out. I'm just going to take our tomato. I'm just going to toss it in our mixture right here on top of our corn. Our cornmeal, look at that. There it is. Nice and simple. Look at that. Alright, so you've seen the process, so just bear with me for a second because I'm going to show you a sweet little technique I'm going to do, because you're wondering, oh, wait a second, I'm making a mess here. Use one hand for the wet ingredients, another hand for the dry. You see that, Source Nation? You can work both at the same time. Look at that. Drip it off, hand it over to this guy. Right hand, left hand. Become ambidextrous. There you go. Look, coming out. Your own assembly line. See that? Assembly line. You're tossing it, and your oil and your seasoning. Look at that. And you're not worried about mixing everything up. Look at that. There we go. Just keep picking up one in the one hand and toss it in the other. So all your dry ingredients are going on the right hand or left hand, whichever you choose. Look at that. And I'm just tossing, rolling it down there. Look at that. And my tomatoes, see, this is a very, very quick process. See that? So I'm just gonna go ahead, put this that way you don't have to worry about any extra spillage. And we're just gonna go in with our olive oil and our seasonings. And just drip that out like that. So look how easy that is to do. Cooking does not have to be difficult. Okay, and then we're just going to go in here. Look at that. And there we go. Alright, so look at that. Look how that turned out. Okay, so before I get to the stove here, stovetop, I'm going to make a little sauce. And I also want to send out prayers to my people in Haiti and all the island nations. Of course, some of you know that my ancestry is Creole French. So those are my people, my family. And there's a hurricane coming, and you know, a lot of Haiti has not actually recovered from the earthquake. And they've got a lot of natural disasters down there, so I just want to keep my people lifted up in your prayers. Okay. And what I've got here is I'm making a sauce, which is simple. There's some hot sauce in here, and there's some mustard. Now, this is a great topping to have for your green tomatoes. Now, ordinarily, I might use some mayo or some sour cream in this, but because we are not using even any dairy today. Wonder how many of my Source family realize that Chef Keith is not even using dairy in this dish. So I'm just going to get a little bit of lime zest. I'm going to put it right in the sauce. Okay, little lime zest. I'm going to add some lime juice as well. So there's going to be a little bit of that sour, a little bit of heat, a little bit of tart from the mustard. It's going to give you a unique flavor here. And this is for your green tomatoes. This is going to go into the refrigerator chill where everything is getting ready to go. Now we're to the stove. Just going to use a little bit of olive oil here. Just a little bit of olive oil. And I'm just going to start with my peppers. Got one pepper that didn't look like didn't get chopped up. But that's okay. I'll get to you. Alright, so there we go. All our peppers right down the pan. I want them to cook down just a couple minutes before I add my corn to get a nice little sizzle going here. Just going to make sure everything's coated. And you already know all these peppers, you know, this is why you cook at home. This is why you like stepping in the door after a long day and you're just looking forward to dinner. When you're coming home and you can smell this combination, smelling peppers, you just know that something fantastic is happening. So there we go. We got our peppers cooking, making all kind of beautiful sounds. I took the liberty of cutting an onion. I thought about it and said, hey, what better dish would onion go with than a whole cast iron pan full of peppers. So I've had them in for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Just going to stir. Just going to go ahead and stir those onions in there. We got a good fry going. Now, here comes the corn. After about 3 minutes, go ahead and put all the corn in there. Look at that. Just drop all this beautiful corn. See, originally when I was making this, it didn't seem like it was a lot. But as you can see, it's actually more than enough. So I got my corn now, and I'm just going to work my corn into the pan here. Just start bringing all those flavors to the top. At this point, I take some kosher salt, sprinkle the season a bit. I go ahead, take some cracked black pepper. You can always come back and season it a little bit later. And now at this point, You don't have to overcook anything. There we go. Dumping guys overboard, I see. So all you're going to do is just start taking the peppers from the bottom, dumping them onto the top. And there. Just going to let that cook. How beautiful is that? Alright, so at this point, we're going to start heating up our second skillet. I'm going to start getting it ready for our tomatoes. Now I'm using my smaller skillet for this one. So I want to put a little bit of a fry on everything. But look at that. Smells amazing. Look at all these fresh veggies. And all we're doing at this point is waiting for our skillet to heat up next to it, and then we will make our tomatoes, and it's almost time to eat. See, this was a simple meal, easy to do. Couple of steps where they had more to do about preparation. If you take something away, a pepper or an ear corn, you take some time away. So I mean, you can make this as quickly if you just want to make a snack, because fried green tomatoes make a great snack. This is a meal in itself. This is going to be loaded with vegetables. We're not going to overcook them. We're not going to make them all watered down or anything like that, or dried out. We're going to leave them nice and crunchy and crispy. All these vegetables are fresh. This is an easy, tasty meal to do. Okay, so all we're going to do right now is take a couple of our tomatoes. We're just going to drop them down in there. This is all going to take maybe 2-3 minutes at best. We don't want to overcook. They would get too soggy. So what I'm going to do is make sure that I turn them quickly. See that? You get a nice little sizzle going there. You don't need to do much. This is simple, easy cooking. Fried green tomatoes, fresh veggies. We got our dipping sauce. Everything ready to go. 2 or 3 minutes, just enough to just fry the little bit of cornmeal that's on there. We want them to be just a little bit golden. And so after about 2 or 3 minutes, medium heat, now it will be time to put these tasty, tasty, tasty entrees on to our plate. And there you have it, your green tomatoes with your fiesta corn. Tasty and so easy to do. Enjoy. Happy birthday, Andrea. Now, wasn't that simple and easy to do? And when you try it at home, you'll find out just how tasty it will be. But before we close out, let's just talk about those sponsors one more time. That's Paper to Film Productions, Revolutionary Mills, Scott Cares Foundation, Urban Grandstand Digital Mojito, Meet My Types Matchmaking, Blend to Blend Juice Bar Boutique, Ren, Novations, and New Covenant of Praise Worship Center. Now don't forget to join me again next week as I'll show you how to make a tasty, affordable, healthy, gourmet style meal in the comfort of your very own kitchen. Remember, easy, tasty, healthy, gourmet style cooking is as close to you as you are to your kitchen. I'll see you next week.